Ain't nothing wrong with a little shine.
All
Ain't wrong with a little
right, let's
shine.
get this.
Them. Um,
Okay.
and one day, I've always, at some point, I did choose um, to teach, but as I was teaching, um, of course, most of the people who were listening were women, and a woman inboxed me one day. A person that I very much had a lot of respect for. She taught me a lot as far as being um, a self-love coach, right? And starting my business and everything. So in a sense, I looked up to her. So she inboxed me and she said, you know what? She said, you are a gift to women. I say, and at first I really didn't know how to take that. And then
Right.
when she broke it down, she said, you are the gift of women. You are here to stand for them. You are here to be uh, a true example of what she has always spoke of. You know, the man that she has always been told that he don't exist, right? That example, the man that even I, as a man, said that man don't exist, honey. That's a fairy tale. That man, Superman, ain't no Superman. I say, and
Okay.
it was for me to become Superman, not to be Superman um, so that women would like me, to be an example to show and prove that, Your Highness, no, you were not dreaming. The Superman that you deserve, it is a such thing. It is possible. All things are possible. Um, so I'm here to be that example for number one, to show that, no, Your Highness, you do deserve Superman. And Superman is out here. Men can become Superman if they choose, I say.
Okay.
Um, but if they do so, it'll be through a woman. Can you dig it?
Okay. That was such a. Can I just say why that last part resonated with me so much? So, what I had found when I was trying to figure out if I had a niche and I was doing research on spiritual workers, what I found was like a lot of Black women cater to Black women. A lot of Black men weren't a lot in that line. Um, and now that you say it like that, they really were a lot of them to women. And I was like, I do want to support fellow womb holders, but I honestly want to support the brothers too. And as a
Right.
man who has, I feel, maybe taken ownership of his own divine feminine, if you were going to talk to the brothers and describe what divine feminine energy is from a spiritual standpoint to them, where they understand why they have it too, like how would you simply explain that to them?
Um, well, to be honest with you, the first time I ever even tried to explain this to a man, uh, the response or the reaction was, uh, they in some way they felt like I was saying to be gay, right? Especially even Black men were saying like, yeah, it's enough of that going on. You trying to tell a man to be in his feminine is going to emasculate him in some form of fashion. Um, and if I can be bluntly, my response was, if you ain't never liked penis, you're not gonna start liking penis just because you go into your feminine.
Exactly.
Um, what they don't understand is that you'll never be able to love her, right? Most men are strictly in their masculine. They have no connection whatsoever to their feminine dimension. Uh, and it's not their fault. We've all been stripped as young boys. We've all been stripped of our feminine dimension. Don't talk like this. Don't hold your hand like this. Don't walk like that. Don't play with dolls. Don't put that on. Don't do anything in this world that is feminine, right? And what do? We disconnect from it, and we go into our masculine. Now, when we enter our masculine, this is strictly ego. So we can never love the one. We can only be infatuated. You understand? We can only be infatuated. We choose women, especially with the ego. And most people that live in their masculine, see, they don't really choose people for themselves. They choose people for us, right? They choose people according to how we are going to think, right? You know, if oh, he's handsome, she's gorgeous, you feel me? We choose people just because of that, right?
Yep.
A lot of us in our masculine, we choose people just because, oh, she's gorgeous. I gotta make her mine. He's handsome. I gotta make her mine. And at this point, we're not understanding that this person may not be able to love you, right? So when men are disconnected from the feminine, they're only in their ego. So they can never actually love her. They're not connected to love. They're connected to ego, infatuation, meaning they're only there for what she can do for them in some form of fashion, right? And women as well that lead in their masculine, they're there because for what this person can do for them in a physical way, right? In some form of fashion. Can they help me with my bills? Can they help me with the house? Can they help me with my car? You know, are they gonna have sex with me on a regular basis? Or are they gonna cook? Are they gonna do this? You know, I need a place to stay, or I need somebody with a car. You know what I mean? Or it may be just as simple as he or she make me look good when we go out, right?
Indeed. It's for just for my listeners and everybody listening, your listeners when they come to come. I want to. Sorry, my neighbor's house is falling apart. So I'm like,
Okay.
so when I think about feminine energy and my own learning and understanding with feminine and masculine in general, and I feel like I want to try to define this and then definitely jump in and piggyback any additional that you have, because you've probably been on your journey a bit longer than myself. So I gotta go from the beginning. So creation. So source, the most high, God, goddess, which one, or the one, however that resonates, you know.
All of them.
Right. They don't care. They don't care. They're not you. But first there was an idea, a concept. It wasn't in form. That's the feminine aspect of source energy. Feminine energy is the idea. It's the spark. It's the intangible realm. It is the inward expression. It is darkness. And because it's darkness, because there's limitless potential there. You can't see what could be because you can't see it. So you can't touch it. It's not physical. Everything spiritual, everything emotional, everything intangible is feminine energy. Concepts, until they come into physical expression, are feminine energy. So things like abundance. The root of abundance is feminine energy. You have to be open to receive. Feminine energy is receptive, like a black hole where it draws things in. It is receptive energy. It is nurturing. It's nurturing because you think about the mother's womb. It's not lighting up. And let's go like shine a light. Well, that baby's sitting there in the dark, and they feel safe. They feel protected. They feel secure. They feel nurtured. They feel loved. That is feminine energy. What happens is this is now ready to come to physical form, and this is the manifest. This is the divine masculine, not the masculine in child, but this is like, okay, we're going to ground this into reality. We're going to give this structure. We're going to give this form. We're going to have concepts like time and space. Womb holders inherently are outside of time and space. That's why some of us overthink, because we are in some capacity experiencing multiple timelines, even whether we know it or not. That's why we always are like, but what about, we can do that because we are accessing all of the timelines of all the things, and where our masculine or male our counterpart, because I don't want you to feel like masculine is man. It is just simply there is a part of the vessel that inherently is activated based on the physical body. So our womb, our sacral area, because there's an organ in that area, that particular organ is the seat of feminine energy in a womb holder. Men have access to it because you have a sacral area, you just don't have a womb. So the connection to the feminine energy is different. It's not as strong. It's not as potent. And even in womb holders, it's still going to manifest differently depending on when we're born, what our numerology is. All of these things play an impact in how we express. But we can easily tap in. There's intuition everybody has, and then there's women's intuition. Everybody's got this, and then women have it here. It's here because we are the conduit to source. The gateway between souls and earth is through us. Men, it is the physical. Y'all help us organize, that set boundaries. You help us bring our ideas into feminine, into physical form. So you cannot manifest your reality unless even in yourself you have a harmony. You know when to take the idea, put action behind it, and bring it out into the world. It is that's the God energy, that bringing those two things together. When you're in sacred union, whether you're with a man, a woman, two women, two men, one of you inherently probably is more in the masculine and one is more in the feminine. One of you is more receptive than the other one. One of you is more action oriented. And you're together to do this. Balance your scales together. So that's so that everyone's like, oh, can you explain it? I hope that explains it in a way. If you have something, Yashua, that I left out or you feel like can clarify, please do so.
Well, to keep things simple, what is masculine energy and what's feminine energy? Well, masculine energy is basically anything that you can identify with your five senses, right? If you can see it, if you can smell it, if you can touch it, if you can hear it, if you can taste it, right?
Yes.
That's masculine
Yes.
energy, as you say, tangible,
yes.
right? So,
yes.
And then what is now? The masculine energy is also, it's the entire being. It's basically the flesh, the muscle, the tissue, right? The bone as well as the brain, I say. Now, when it comes to the brain is one logic, right? So even the brain is masculine energy.
Yes.
So what is the feminine? The feminine is the spirit. What is the spirit? Emotions, right?
Yes.
The feminine is love, because every feeling or emotion derives from love, right? The dog pit that you spoke of, right? The endless pit is so much, right? And that's why we call it unconditional love, right? Because it never ends. So when we talk about the feminine, this is love, this is compassion, this is nurture, this is honesty, this is loyalty, this is faithfulness, right? This is understanding, this is appreciation, right? This is honor, all the emotions that we have, even the pain, right? I say, so the masculine is external, the feminine is internal, right? So as you just spoke, to back you up and piggyback on you, is that in essence, the masculine is here to protect her existence. She protects his soul, right? Why does she protect his existence? Right? So even that has the body move, right? When we trigger, when we react, right? When there's a wound inside of us, meaning in the soul, in the feminine, then automatically the ego, the masculine energy, defends that area. That's why we react. That's why we get triggered, right? Because the masculine will protect the feminine. Because in this area of the feminine energy, it is hurt. So the masculine the ego is going to
Yes.
come in. It's going to be defensive. It's going to tell you, hey, no, I ain't crazy, even though I
Yeah.
may be a little crazy, but I ain't crazy, or I ain't stupid, or you know what I mean? The ego was going to kick in.
What
You know
did
what I
you
mean?
say
If
to
you want to fight, we can
me?
fight, but I'm willing to fight.
Right.
You feel for the
Yes.
feminine, because I'm
Oh,
feminine right here. And here you go hurt. You hurting the goddess. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the same way. She heal and protect our soul, right? And what is our soul? She protect our feminine, the feminine in us that we have such a hard time, one, connecting to, and two, allowing it to run itself, to embrace it, right? See, to even tell a man that he's emotional, he'll take that as being disrespectful. You understand? By the ego, right? Which is, if he feels this way, then this is ego. That means he's all the way in his mask. He's not connected to this, right?
Okay. Sorry, my third eye is like.
I know me, honey. But don't rub it.
My third eye.
Don't rub it too hard, honey. Let it see.
Look, it's good. It's good. I'm like, yo, like